Time is X minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to the Kyle Seraphin Show call-in Thursday night thing that we do where you guys call and then you tell me what's on your mind, and then we have that discussion. I want to do something a little different than we often do. The phone line is open. You guys know how to find it. If you're over on Locals and you're a member, you can get there by going to kyleseraphin.com and you'll look for the pinned post. The top post is actually a graphic. It's very pretty. And it has the phone number. It's an 818 number for this month. It'll be the last one, I think, in July, and then we'll switch up the number as we do. So these are fun. For those of you that are over on YouTube that are members or you are channel members, check out the post that is available there, and you should be able to go ahead and pull that out of the... There's also a link, I think, but for whatever it's worth, you can check it out there. And then for those of you that are over on X, you can get it the same way. So we're going to do something. I'm going to bring the first caller on. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm bringing on caller number 1, and the rule is as follows. When I bring you guys on the air, will you tell me your name? And just tell me where you're calling from. I don't care if it's your real name. You can make up a name. But a name, where you're calling from. Caller number 1, you're on the line. You're on the air.
Hey, I'm Tack Penis calling from the great state of Texas.
There he is.
And had a couple updates.
Okay, hold on.
About the
Mr. Tack Penis. All right, you're going to give me an update in a second. You don't have to rush in. The question is, and I'm going to put it out to the chat. Folks in the chat, are we prepared to have a 5-minute timer so that we can work through a bunch of callers? Give me thumbs up if that works for you. If you want to hear long form, then we can do something different. Why is my thumb actually giving a thumbs up? Okay, Mr. Tack Penis, you have bonus time until we get an agreement on the 5-minute timer. Ready? Knock yourself out.
All right, cool. I was already going with the 5-minute
I know,
timer.
dude. You were
it all out there.
Yeah, you had advanced knowledge though, because you DM'd me about it. So, all right, you get it. Like I said, you get a bonus until everyone agrees.
Gotcha. Update on the snapping turtle situation. I am now deciding to build my own tank because I asked Croc, and then of course I looked on YouTube, and it is freaking insanely easy to do so. Obviously, the plexiglass, that's going to be the thing that costs a little bit more, but that's really where the sticker shock comes in when it comes to building the actual tank. So that seems like something. I'm a handy guy. I could freaking do that, right?
This is going to be like a homemade terrarium?
Basically, yeah. But it'll be it'll have some basking spots for it. So there'll be some spots where it can swim around, have water and be underneath if it needs to be submerged and everything. And then there'll be spots for it to bask.
Okay. I'm for it. Are we still looking for a black snapping turtle? Some sort of predatory?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, amphibian?
Yeah, definitely. I also found there's actually 2-headed ones you can get. The sticker, the sticker price for those things is freaking retarded. So I'm not going to do that.
Do you know what? Okay, here's the thing. I actually may have a good connection for you. And I might be able to get you a free snapping turtle.
What?
I had a professor who is a herpetologist when I was down at Texas State University. And he would give away the non-albinos that he would breed. Of everything, including turtles.
Oh, that's awesome.
Should we get in touch with him? Because we can make that happen. I should reach out to him anyway. He's a neat guy.
Yeah, go ahead and reach out to him, and I'll keep you updated on my progress with.
Yeah, and we want to get you a 2-headed, obviously, if possible.
Oh no! The reason those is because they end up with a lot more health problems. One of them is eating too much, the other one doesn't get enough, that type of thing, right? So I don't want that. I had a perfect name pick for it too. I was going to call it Cerberus, but
yes, that is a good name. That would be a good name.
So I'm just gonna stick with the single-headed one, and I'm gonna train it up to be basically my familiar that'll just bite the balls off of my enemies and stuff like that.
A familiar that bites the heads off things. I'm for it. What other things are going on in the state of Texas in the non-amphibious world?
the zinger I had, man. I don't know how you can stay courageous and not shiver in fear now that James O'Keefe is coming after you, because I tell you what, that guy is the undefeated world champion at gay chicken.
So I used to have an NCO who did gay chicken with everybody that showed up. Everybody. He insisted that they all had to play gay chicken with him. All the young airmen did. And so he would explain the rules of gay chicken. You put your hands behind your back. You would close your eyes. You would lean in for a kiss. The first person to break away would lose gay chicken. And so he would get them to close their eyes. He would close his eyes. Then he would open his eyes. Then he would look at everybody. Then he would smile at them, give them like a big thumbs up. And then he would wait till the guy leaned in for a little bit. Then he would slap the ever-loving shit out of them right across the face. And then he would tell them immediately, "Oh my God, I've never been beat before. You won." And they would be very conflicted because they won. They got hit in the face.
Yeah, that's freaking ridiculous. Oh my word.
We knew some sickos, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh man, dude. Yes, we were freaking outrageous. We still are. We're just like calmer about it. We hide it better.
That's probably right. Yeah, I'll believe that.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got?
Yeah. Just looking at everything that's going down, all the stuff that's being revealed. I appreciate like your insights with respect to, the fact that it's not freaking something prosecutable, because everybody gets all spun up right about that. They're like, oh, we got him freaking now. Oh, this is gonna be great, total treason. It's like, no, just calm down, hold on.
Hey,
I'm not gonna be like you think it is.
Happy to be wrong about it, but I think probably not. I probably won't be wrong, is the odds.
You're like the bucket of cold water.
Yeah, I was really bumming Alex Jones out today, I think. But he's like, is there anything good about the Trump administration? I'm like, come on, bro. Who cares? We're just here to shit on the world.
Pretty much. You got all spun up with all that demon stuff, that one dude before you, man. Oh, my word. Yeah. I was like, how is Kyle going to follow this?
I don't even watch, but I caught that it was Joey Pepperoni. So that was pretty interesting. Mr. P. Ness, you're about to experience the we're coming down to the 15-second mark, and so look, this is so people can kind of see what it's about. There's a little kick in of some blues to kind of let you know that we're running to the end of the 5 minutes, so people can wrap up their points. What do you think?
Sounds good, man.
No, I'm looking for feedback. You don't have to just agree to it. I'm just saying, what do you think? Is that good?
Oh, no, I think it's good, dude, because I'll be honest, we all think we're so freaking interesting and special, and we've got like the coolest words, right? But, everybody, that doesn't mean, everybody wants to hear us all the time. So I have no problems with that whole 5-minute thing.
I think people do want to hear it. I just wanted to make sure that I was courteous, because every time I do this, I end up missing 5 or 6 calls, and I know people feel like they're not part of the team if they don't get to call in. That's one of the fun things. So, but people can call back in.
A lot of fans, so.
Yeah, well, people can call back in. I think that'll be good too, because I think I want to hear what everyone has to say. Also, what the hell they got going on. Laura Loomer at the State Department. That's your final thought. Give me your best feelings about Laura Loomer taking meetings at State Department. Go.
Dude, they would be so funny. She would be trapping people in there, and they would all have to like do some crazy, puzzle, whatever, that would be, gory, trying to get out of the meeting with her, because she's freaking Jigsaw, dude. People have to inject themselves with something. Pick which arm they like the best. Who knows?
Oh God. Yeah, which spider do you want to bite you, on the face or on the neck?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you sicko. All right, call back in if you get bored. If you're sitting in there, we're going to open the line up and make it round number 2. Again, the rules are tell me your name, tell me where you're from, and Mr. Penis, thanks for calling in. I think we have to call you that. We can't even use your real name anymore. It's not appropriate.
Sounds good to me.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Have a good night.
Peace.
Okay, folks, there you go. What do you think? That's how it works. That is that's the routine. I think I can turn it off and then turn it back on, and I think we make it work. I think that's how it's going to go. So when I get you on the line, we'll turn on the timer. The phone line is open. Again, the deal is this. You got to be a subscriber on one of our programs or one of our platforms. There are many ways to do it. There are very inexpensive ways to do it. It's $2, I think, over on X, or like $1.99. I tried to do whatever the lowest number was, so that was it. You can be a subscriber over on Locals. You could do it on YouTube. And yeah, it's been kind of an interesting, goofy kind of day, hasn't it? Gotta get rid of this countdown timer. What do you guys think? We'll go and figure out how to do all this stuff. I created these little things today, and I didn't have like a logistics on how to turn it on without looking kind of goofy. So, what else has been going on out there? There was a horrible situation that you guys may know about. If you guys want to call in and talk to me about your everyday carry guns and which one of you guys is now not going to be carrying a SIG P320. I'm actually really curious if anybody still wants to carry a P320. You guys hear about this? There was an airman I think in Florida who got shot by his own gun and didn't make it. That's pretty awful. SIG has known about this for a long time. I've been giving my buddies who sell SIGs in their gun stores a hard time about it. I was explaining it to my wife, and I told her, it's good we only have 2 of those. We only have 2 SIG P320s. We got caller number 2 on the line. Who am I talking to and where are you from? You're on the line. You're on the air. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. We have a technical problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing. I can hear you. Can you hear me? We lost it. I think that was Renzo. Does anyone else think that was probably Renzo?
+1 917.
Yeah, it's... All right, can you hear me now? Nope. Go to speakerphone. Troubleshoot. Work the problem.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Now we got you. There you are. Hello.
Hey, what's up? It's Renzo.
Renzo, you got to tell people what state. We got to play by the rules.
From the People's Republic of New York.
That's right. Not America. How you doing tonight, sir?
Not America. Unfortunately, not America.
Unfortunately not.
So, I wanted to actually call. The other night, you were like in a Spaces, I think, in pirate radio.
Okay.
And I heard you were telling a story. I heard that you're the person to find out what the going rate is for black market breast milk.
I don't have the going rate, but I have some connections that might be able to tell me what the going rate is because I have some sick friends that keep track of this kind of thing. But yes, there is a going rate.
I thought you said how much it was, but my wife was talking to me and I don't know. I always have problems on Spaces.
I do not actually know the going rate for black market breast milk, but my neighbor in Virginia claimed that he was sitting on a small fortune, which was very unsettling to me. I didn't actually need to learn that they were 1, stockpiling breast milk, and 2, he thought that there was going to be like a fair amount of money that he could sell for. But yeah, apparently there is a market for such a thing.
They make ice cream out of it, right?
God only knows what they do. I assume that they used them for baths. Did they not put them in the bath? Is that not? Or in their coffee?
In the bath. Oh, in the coffee. That's right. You were saying something about the coffee.
I'm assuming. I don't know all the rules. I mean, like I said, this is not my jam.
I don't know. When I heard you talking about it, I was like, there's an actual market, a black market for breast milk. Like, what is it? Like, all I kept thinking in my head was like Mad Max. They have like a bunch of ladies just sitting there like the cows.
The milker ladies
like,
or something.
with the pumps on them. Yeah. I didn't think that I was hearing what you were saying. The story.
Yeah, there's something a little wrong with you. Can you agree with that?
Oh yeah, there's definitely something wrong with me.
Okay, fair enough.
I've known that for decades, though.
Yeah. All that checks out.
Yeah, that's why I think
I don't want to live in a world where there's women hooked up to milking machines. I was very uncomfortable. Like buying a breast pump is a weird thing as a man, and then like when you walk by women that are using them in public, that's also really strange because I'm like, it's just mechanically milking you. It just seems like such a private act. Why are you doing it in public? What is going on here?
The worst thing was like when my wife was doing it with my 2 daughters, Like I couldn't get that sound out of my head.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's the like whatever the mechanical thing is that's creating the suction. It's very unsettling. So hold on. This is what was in your heart. You were like, it's Thursday night. I need to know if Kyle can hook me up with some bootleg breast milk.
No, I had a longer form topic, but then you threw out the whole 5-minute thing. So I was like, I'm definitely not going to get through this in 5 minutes. So
here's the deal. I think we can work a deal too, where the chat can vote you into another 5 minutes. I think we should make this like an interactive game.
Ooh,
so if
that's a good idea.
If your topic is worthy of another round, then we re-up your timer. By the way, I'm still figuring out, like, my timer is not great. It's just a video that runs, so I got to figure out a better way. Oh, I know how to do it. I can just hit reset. Yeah. Okay. So the timer, I think that if people want to re-up for 5 more minutes, then people have to type in the word, like the number 5 more or something like that. Right?
Oh, 5M? 5M?
Yeah.
5 more minutes.
Or Cinco
Or
Mas.
5+.
I mean, we could do it any number of ways, but yeah, I think they should do it that way. Cinco Mas.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, so that's the deal,
that.
folks.
I'm a proponent of this because I think that you'll get more, you'll have more interaction. Like the other night, it was last week or 2 weeks ago. I think it was last week. I was like, let me call in. And then Owen was on the phone for a while. So I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to call in.
It was a long one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to turn and burn. If people have something, you're getting some Cinco Mas. So people are willing to hear what your long form is. What do you got?
Okay.
You're still going to hear the music. You're going to know where the timer is. You're going to realize where 5 minutes is, and it goes fast. See?
All right, that's cool. Like the 30-second warning.
It's a 10-second warning, I think. But yeah, something like that. Okay.
10-second warning. Sounds
all right.
Good.
So you got you just bought yourself 5 more minutes, champ.
So my whole issue with this Epstein thing is that I think actually Trump and them won on this issue. Because, in my opinion, they've turned this into the Russia hoax. With the way that they've been portraying it and how they're throwing everything out there. And, obviously we know all this DNI stuff is like a distraction. Mm-hmm. I like you, I don't believe that maybe we'll get 2 prosecutions of some mid-level people, but just for show, like the Kleinsmith type of prosecution.
Yeah,
they probably won't even be able to.
He got reinstated, didn't he?
Convict him of. Yep, and he got his license back.
He did,
which is which I find is the biggest problem with all of this. So, how do you convince people in the government to stop doing nefarious acts when they know that these nefarious acts that they're committing have no consequences?
Well, no, you can't with that. I think you just answered your own question. It's not possible.
You can't. Yeah. It was. It's impossible. So why should we think that anything? So like now, if Cash and like Dan know that that's the case, right? Mm-hmm. Why would they not then make an example out of certain people in order to convey that message to them? There are now consequences to doing this. This is the thing I don't get too about the suspendable situation too. Like Garrett's like an easy win for them.
100%.
They could say, look, Garrett O'Boyle, this man was wronged by these people. We found out he didn't do all the stuff we said he did, which we've already told everybody that we know he didn't do this stuff. We're gonna make him whole. Maybe not bring him back. Like if you don't even want to bring him back, just like give him his, a settlement and let him go and move on.
Do you know they could actually make him the supervisor of a squad of 1 that reports on federal crimes at his house? They could do anything they wanted.
Yeah, anything.
It's like
and then that's the message to the other people who would be considering whistleblowing. hey, these guys are different. Maybe they're going to take care of us if I blow the whistle. You know, like I just can't understand that these people that are supposed to be so smart and know everything that's going on couldn't figure this out, which makes me think that it's we don't want to do this. Like, it's beneficial for us to not do it.
There's obviously, it appears that there's an incentive, right? That appears to be an incentive of people who can work against the interest that we thought they would. And that incentive is lean. I don't know whether they're given some reasons why, but you know, I can imagine nobody wants to work where everybody hates you. Nobody wants to be the guy that goes to work and every day all the people around you hate you. So being the guy who's going to come in and spill blood every day and fire people probably sucks, but that's what they needed. I recommended a guy who was going to go do that, and they didn't hire him. So now we got cutesy time again. That's all.
Yeah. So in effect, like, what they proved to everybody, and they're still proving to everybody, is that they're grifters, especially with this Epstein stuff. Like, you know, to just go out there for years and years and say, you know, I know an agent who's on the plane with Bill Clinton going to Epstein Island and this stuff and like, then to just be like, nah, dude killed himself. Sorry. You know, like,
he killed himself.
Like, something must be going on that would have prompted that. That's why I kept thinking, you know, maybe he's been threatened or he's compromised.
Everybody wants to see that they're threatened. I think at the end of the day, I think maybe the evidence isn't there. But the problem is, you just spent several years saying that the people who are collecting that evidence can't be trusted. And now you just went out and leaned on the evidence. It's almost like they didn't know how to actually see through the BS.
Being threatened by these people.
I don't think there's any threats. I just don't. Renzo, I think that gives people way too much credit.
You think he's just a shill, and he just was like, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna, you know, be a bureaucrat. Like, you know, I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it is what it is, and you know, you can only judge people by what they do.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal.
You just gave up a big nugget.
You just earned a big nugget. I think what we do is we put it out to the other callers that want to discuss it. I'm interested in hearing if people think that there was a threat. I want to know what it sounded like. My instinct is no. That's my guess. No threat. But we'll put it out to the chat. So let's kick it over to the next caller. See if they want to do that. They can talk about your topic or their own topic, but that'll be something we leave out there open. Threat or no threat, what the hell made these guys not go out there and choke slam this agency and get justice? How about that?
Exactly. Sounds like a good topic.
My man, thanks for calling in.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was nice talking to you.
All right, take care, man.
All right. Renzo's off the line. He got a bonus 5, so you guys can vote the Cinco Mas if you like it. I kind of like the way, because it gives everybody a little chance to come in. So, topic of the night, you could talk about two-headed turtles if you are so inclined, if one of you amphibious lovers wants to get into that. But we can bring up the interesting question of unrealized expectations that we had for our federal agencies. And I got asked kind of a difficult question today because I'm such a naysayer and I just dwell in negativity. But the question was something to the effect of, what is the Trump administration doing really well? And I don't feel like I have to go looking for things. My expectation is that our government should do things well by default, even though I know better. Probably many of you do as well. But I did realize that there's some people we haven't been hearing from a whole lot. We haven't heard a lot from the energy secretary. And so Secretary Wright seems like he's doing an okay job. I think he's out there. At least he shut down, like, what was it, like $100 billion worth of insane grant loan money that got kicked out the door in the last couple days of the Biden administration. Maybe it was $90 million in 45 days or something. I'll have to go back and refresh my memory. But some significant scams were revealed. I think, so if you guys want to bring that as a topic, that's one you can do. Things that you like. I actually think that Tulsi Gabbard, for all of my general sort of questions about people who come from Democrat origins and say they don't think that you should be able to own a gun when those people are 100% doing the right thing or going out there and doing it. It made me actually wonder a couple of other really upsetting things, like why on earth is the current CIA director and the former DNI not being asked more questions, like how come he didn't find this before? Why is Tulsi Gabbard the only one who could find this stuff out there right now? Why is the program they have called the DIG, I think it's called the Directors Initiate Group or the Directors Initiative Group, why are they the only ones that have finally decided to dig this stuff up? And then the last question that I continue to have is, if people are making allegations that there were forged documents and fake files and a bunch of shenanigans and effery going on in the behind the scenes in various different agencies, including law enforcement agencies, are we doing internal investigations like really aggressively? Why have we not set up like a third party, not accountable to the attorney general, some sort of outside of everybody else's chain of command agency to jump in and do real work? Why is that not happening? Because you can't let government investigate government. I don't think. That might be one of the worst things that's gone on, is thinking that you can go ahead and use the same tools and get different outcomes. Anybody who's ever built anything and had the wrong tools and then tried it again, you get better at using the wrong tools, but you don't generally increase or upgrade the output or the quality. Sometimes you just don't have the right equipment for it. All right. Phone number is available over on Locals. It is available on YouTube for those of you who are posted over there. It is available as the last subscriber post on X. If you are an X subscriber, we don't usually get X subscriber callers, but that'd be kind of fun. It starts with 818 if you guys are looking for it. I posted it as a graphic, so you can find it there. When you call in, you get 5 minutes unless the chat votes you 5 more. You can address the current topic that we're discussing, or you can bring your own topic. You can just tell me things that are interesting to you if you like. That's the option. Let's see here. You can see our chat is going off about the CIA. And we're re-adjudicating 2016. What can you do? I mean, they didn't solve the problem, but I wish they would have done this in 2019, to be honest. It does seem kind of lame so far that we've been waiting on it. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you guys the call in between calls start. Check this out. We'll start this up right now. All right. And because the callers are the people who dictate how the program works, if we go for 5 and nobody wants to jump in, then we can also shut it down and call it a night. I'll let you guys know that this is going to be a busy next, let's call it 48 hours. I got to go to bed tonight. I'm going to wake up and do our program. We'll do Friendly Friday with Steve Friend, who was just on the Joe Pag show. I didn't pull it, so you guys will have to let me know if it was any good. I'm sure it was. And then after we dish off with the Friendly Friday, I'm going to jump in the car and drive down and fly to Dulles and go and be on Timcast tomorrow night for the IRL program, which I haven't done in a little bit. And I have no idea what the topics will be on, but I imagine we'll be probably talking about more of this. And I think I can be the contrarian, negative pessimist there, right? We could be a pessimist over on Timcast. There's nothing that makes it work better than being a contrarian and a pessimist, because you're rarely disappointed with what's going on. It usually works out pretty well. It's hard to get people disappointed. For those of you that are optimists, you'll find that you're often let down. The optimist has expectations of positivity and oftentimes find themselves quite let down. I don't have that problem nearly as often. Caller number 3 on the line. You tell me who you are and where you're from. You are live.
Hello, Griffin. Okay, or Joel. Okay.
Hey, Joel.
Hi. Okay. Hi. Okay. Calling to ask, or actually to, what do we call it? To confirm what something you the other day. Okay. You said something about not needing books or anything. Okay. So you don't you don't want extra books. You said, right?
Yes. Well, whenever I get books,
Yeah?
I don't always have time to read
Okay.
through all of them. So yeah, they'll stack up more than not, and then I'll end up carrying them around with me to all my houses. I have a real hard time with letting go of books, Joel. So oftentimes, they end up just becoming dead weight in a box that goes with me wherever I go. I have books from when I was
okay.
when I was in middle school still that I don't let go of. So giving me a book is like giving me a weight that I'm going to carry for
Okay.
life.
Oh, I see.
That's the
Okay.
general rule.
All right. Yeah. Also, I think I took your advice about like being less. Okay. Like not about VR chat. Okay, but like still on VR chat often. But I decided to reduce the amount of comments I make online because like it seems to cause discord. Like not the app, the full definition of the word. You know?
Yep.
Like Discord, like an argument that someone like tries to jump on, and like trolls.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know how some trolls like they say no, they don't say they try to get like a negative emotion to get them kind of high out of their
I think
time or something like that. Yeah,
I think some people
It's very
feed
weird.
off negativity like that. Yeah. I think some people get a kick out of making
Yeah.
appearing to make other people unhappy. That seems to be a thing.
Yeah, I've noticed that more often now. So I decided to reduce my online presence on X, and I actually deleted my Facebook account
Strong.
and my previous Twitter account also. It used to be Cup of Joe. Okay, on
I remember Cup of
Twitter
Joe.
and X.
So what do you fill in your time
yeah,
with
that's me.
if you're not doing it online anymore? What is your real life getting? What benefit is your real life getting at this point?
Well, I'm still on VR chat often, but I do walk around more often, okay, and talk to people in real life, like in my neighborhood, okay. Again, and right now I don't have a job, but would you please like do a this is pretty much a prayer request so I can get a job in my local area.
What kind of job are you looking for?
I've been general labor for like once in a while, like since 2012. Okay, like fresh out of college. Okay, general labor.
Yep.
Okay, but I'll prefer to eventually get a apprenticeship in carpentry, like locally.
Okay.
Okay, but if not locally, I can hopefully I can get a job to be able to. I want to have a job locally to be able to save money to be able to have an apprenticeship somewhere else someday, you know?
I understand. Well, I think that's an easy thing to add to our little prayer request here. I think everybody can use a leg up, and so we'll offer up we'll try to intercede that you end up with a job that that works well for you, and in something, and you're hoping to get into. You know, the other thing is, you got to also be open to whatever's coming your way, don't you?
Maybe framing.
What? Yeah, I found out, like, if you'd asked me, hey, Kyle, do you want to start a podcast and get fired from being an FBI agent? I would have told you absolutely not. So I think sometimes God's plan is not around. So maybe the other end of it, your end of it is knowing that you have no idea what God's plan is for you too. So we'll keep that in mind too.
I don't know what's going on like sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
So,
well, you pray for an open heart and an open mind.
I think I posted something like a few days ago. I deleted it, but like it kind of annoys me that some people, I don't know who the actors were, okay, but like a long time ago. Okay, but the last time it happened was 2015. But like still, okay, that was annoying. Okay, very annoying that actors were messing with me just for like I guess some people they do that in real life, like trolling, you know.
Yeah.
The best of you. That's annoying.
I agree. There's an awful lot of negativity out there.
Hopefully people that the Holy Spirit touches them, you know.
Yeah, and I hope that you also find the inspiration for the thing that's supposed to be open, whatever doors are open in your life, that you're able to see those too. You're getting an awful lot of prayer You're getting some prayer emoji hands out there in the chat here. I'll put them on the screen for everyone to see as well. Joel, I'm going to give you a final thought. Do you want to weigh in on the topic of that Mr. Renzo put out there?
Oh, I just tuned in. What was it?
Okay. Well, it's kind of a longer topic, so we'll have to brief it up on it. But essentially, he was wondering whether people in the current federal government for the American government are dealing with threats, and that's why they're not performing the way they hope. You think so?
Oh. What do you mean? There's a lot of what's it? Infighting, it seems, which is annoying. Like, it's upsetting, honestly, because a lot of Canadians, I think we look up to the, like, some of us, many of us actually, okay, like we try to we do look up to states like for not guidance, but like leadership, you know. Okay, there's like since 1968, I think I've posted about this before. Okay, but like Canada has been really weird. Okay, since 1968, since Trudeau came in. Okay, that's very weird. Okay, like they just decided to vote on scandal, which is annoying. Okay, like it's just.
All right,
when I
Joel.
found that out, I was upset.
I think you lost me on the Canadian history lesson there, my friend. We're gonna pray for you. We're gonna pray for your job, and we'll if you want to listen in and see what people are talking about regarding the Renzo dilemma, which wasn't just about breast milk. For all of you weirdos in the chat that were there, there was another question. I'll let you weigh in on that, and I'll look for your responses over on the local side because I know you're on there too, bud.
All right. Thank you.
I appreciate you calling in.
Have a good night.
Have a great night, bud.
Yeah, I'll continue listening.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good night. Bye.
All right, there we go. We got one more. If you guys don't want to talk about the topic or you don't want to weigh in on the Renzo dilemma, you don't have to. You can just tell them you don't care or you don't know. And that's fine too. It doesn't have to be that. I saw we missed a call during that. You guys are all diving in at the same time. Oh, I'm going to have to reset my clock here. Stand by. We'll reset the in-between counter as well. So we're adding it to our prayer intercession requests. I know Joel's mentioned it over on our locals channel as well, that he could use some focus in there. He could use some tasking. You got to turn down your audio. You are live. This is what? Caller number 4, I think. Tell me who you are and where you're from.
Is it still the penis?
Is it?
I couldn't tell if you were talking to somebody else. But you reminded me of
you're
something.
doubling down.
Like,
you're coming back.
Believe it or not, like I write down notes because my brain isn't super awesome. So I write down notes, to try and life hack it. So things I want to talk about, I forgot about the Timcast one because that dude asked a question on one of his shows before. Remember when the whole Bud Light fiasco was going on and everybody was all boycotting Bud Light, and he's like, I remember he's like, well, what's the win condition? What's the point of this? What's the win condition? And that was like, what? The condition, there's no win condition. This is punishment. And I figured you would be somebody who would understand that now, but yeah, there was nothing about getting Bud Light to do this or that or some type of, political stance other than, hey, you make tranny beer, you're going to freaking get, pay the penalty and your stock prices tank.
Yes,
so,
I agree. The win condition was it hurts you more than it hurts us because we can drink another beer.
Exactly.
Also, if you drink Bud Light, we should have a chat. I used to sell a lot of Bud Light.
No kidding, man.
There's only one condition that I'm drinking Bud Light, and it's it's the last 1 inch filling the glass in a Bloody Mary. But I don't really drink that much anymore. So if I did, I would throw Bud Light on top of it. Honestly, it's better if it's Budweiser too. Real Budweiser is better. Why are people drinking light beer? Just nut up and drink real beer, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no kidding, man. Like that, like Crystal Weissen. You don't like IPAs, I think, but I was a big fan of IPAs. Dogfish Head, that was a good one. Corona, of course. Got a little Corona with the lime.
What do you think about that
But,
Corona
yeah,
that looks like
Bud
a
Light,
butt plug?
no.
Have you seen that?
Oh, dude, I did see that. I'm like, that is going to be showing up in the emergency rooms all over San Francisco. At least, I guarantee it, man.
I'm so let down because I had the soundboard clip previously, and now it's gone. And I'm really disappointed that I deleted it. I needed the space, but I had the one that said nothing accidentally goes into your butt.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, man, that is just some people's kids. So we can't have nice things.
I don't think that I need like that didn't even look like it was a 12-ounce bottle either, did it? That looked like it was that looked like a polite Japanese 8-ounce beer that also doubled as a glass butt plug emergency situation.
You know who would probably be a good person to ask about this and have like, a solid idea?
James O'Keefe.
Would be James O'Keefe.
I knew you were going to say that. I'm in your head right now.
Yep.
The good news is you're not alone in whatever mental problem you have. I share it.
Oh yeah, I know who's got. Yeah, but that's why life's awesome, though, man. I think we have more fun than other normal people.
Yeah, who wants to be normal? I just posted something tonight that has been getting like. Here's the thing. Check this out. I say negative things, and it still makes people happy as long as you have a picture of the fact that you're not a complete like crotchety a-hole. I wrote this on X today. I said
your family.
Yeah, I just said, look, it's been brought to my attention that I'm not very nice and that I don't like anyone and I'm miserable. But I'm not miserable. I'm actually really happy. And anybody who sees me in the morning knows it's pretty good. I get to kiss my kids 5 seconds before I go to work, and when I'm done, I get to give them a kiss right away. I can run down there. I can have all kinds of little funny adventures. My son came down this afternoon as we were just getting ready to go live, and I knew I wasn't. He was about to go to bed. And so I was like, Bo, get down here. So he comes running down, and he comes running up to me. And as soon as he does, I grab him, I threw him as high as I could, almost hit him into the ceiling. And we've got like a 10-foot ceiling. We've got an extended ceiling in the one part of the downstairs. Flew him, and his face looked like he was absolutely about to crap a brick because he was way higher than he was used to going. And then I caught him, and then he was like, do it again. So I got to throw him a few more times, and I come up here and I come chat with you guys.
Of course.
Like, how do you be mad about that?
Yeah.
Social media don't matter. That's not real.
See, you're raising him right.
Up in the air. Yeah.
Yeah. With respect to dealing with threats, I'm trying to make sure I understand that right. Was he saying like some of this stuff isn't getting done because, these people are scared, they're dealing with threats on their own lives and their families and stuff like that?
That was the speculation that Renzo made. You want to weigh in?
Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah, it's like, that's why you need people with nothing to freaking lose. People that maybe they don't have families and kids yet, but shoot, dude, if they can just lay it on the line by heck yeah.
At some point, don't you just have to agree that you're just going to get after it, and whatever happens is going to happen. You can't stop other people from doing crazy stuff. Like,
yeah, man, be Braveheart.
All right, how many? We need to make a rule. What is the number of 5 more or cinco masas that we need to have to be able to give somebody the 5-minute extension? You got 2 so far. What is the number going to be? Is it 5? Is it 5 5s? Is that what we think the right answer is?
I think we should count the disses for James O'Keefe too.
Well, people just talk shit about James.
Yeah.
It's not actually that important to me. It's really funny that he keeps coming up. Let's see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4. You got 4 extensions. There's a 5. Renzo gives you a 5. Let's call it 5 5s. Makes it an extension. So you're going to get 5 more. Here we go. We're making it up as we go, brother. That's how we're going to do it. Okay.
It's working out. Yeah.
Okay. The question is, what kind of threats would make these guys basically crap over their last couple years and know publicly that they're going to have to eat their last 5 years of bullshit that they've said out loud? What would it take?
Definitely family.
Family?
Definitely family. Also, they would basically somebody shows them like, look at all of this, Okay, remember that one lady? I forget her name, but she was a journalist, and they put child porn crap on her husband's computer, to try and yes, exactly right. They either threaten family, they do stuff like that, and they try and basically seal it up to where it's like, hey, this is there's no way you could get out of this. You could convince anybody else of anything other than the fact that you're a pedo unless you do what we say.
All right, I'm going to read you something. This is from my father, who is kind of a sage person. He said, "The threat is imaginary. The disappointment is real." What do you think of that? You think the threat is real?
I guess you could say, like the threat, honestly, that's more us trying to be like, okay, maybe these people aren't just complete turncoats. Maybe there was actually something legitimate reason for why they would maybe do this. You know, I'm a contrarian about most everything. And I typically hope for the best, but plan for the worst. I expect, I'm cynic, everything's going to go wrong and people are going to disappoint you. Maybe. But I just, I just don't see people like that was another question I was going to ask you is like, what do you think we do at this point or would need to happen at this point for our government to turn around to actually be something constitutional and actually be like the founders wanted? And I don't mean like the simple, like, hey, it's got to be this, this, and this. I mean, how would from this point we rectify things?
I don't know if we can.
I know that's a long question.
No, I think we're on a long decline. I think there's possibly some bumps in it that inflect up a little bit, but I don't think you recover. We've built too many things that are not. We've just and maybe this is maybe it can be extended indefinitely. That's possible, I suppose. But at the end of the day, like we don't have the system that the founders of our country created because we've actually undermined it. We did so with the 16th Amendment. We did so with the 17th Amendment. We did so with the 19th Amendment. Like we changed a bunch of things that were not what this country was built to do. And the
Patriot Act.
Well, that's all late stuff. But I mean, consider this. We changed the way that money was dealt. We centralized something that was never meant to be centralized. And then we gave a federal government the ability to tax and not ask the states for it, which was the original way. It was supposed to go through the states. And then we changed the nature of our fundamental legislator. Our legislation used to be that you had a representative body, and then you have another one that represented the majorities of the state houses. And that's what the Senate was supposed to be. The upper house was actually not supposed to represent the people directly. It was supposed to be removed from the people and be something that could get stuff done that represented the majority of the state's interests. So up until 1913, our country appointed senators from the elected majorities in the state houses. And if you did that, you'd have a super majority. And so you would actually accomplish things and actually be able to move things forward. But you can't move anything forward when everything is basically split down the middle 50-50. And we essentially have a country right now that's divided on rural and urban. And it just depends on if you have enough urban in your state to lean you blue or enough rural in your state to lean you red with a little bit of values in between. Mm-hmm. I don't think you recover from that. I don't. Not unless they roll some of these things back.
Yeah.
They could roll it back to 1908. We'd be okay. But you've built an entire scaffolding on things that now we just kind of have to, we just tolerate them. They're over 100 years old. So they're part of the agenda. They're part of the scheme. So how long can you make it continue, I think is the real question. It's awful.
As goofy as it may sound, the zombie apocalypse really would be like a helpful.
I thought we had one coming. I thought that's what COVID was. I was like, man, God forbid. I wanted a plague, and here we have a plague, and it didn't freaking plague. It didn't even plague that hard.
The worst
It was
plague.
the shittiest plague.
The worst plague of all time,
Just
man.
the weakest.
It was a retard apocalypse.
It was a retard apocalypse. We were going to refer to that. I think we may have just coined that. The retard apocalypse. We'll get some other people to say what they think about the possibility of a retard apocalypse. If we could,
I think we're still living through it, though.
It's an ongoing apocalypse. Yeah, I think you're correct there, my friend. Let's see if if we can bring on one or two other people's opinion. You can talk about the retard apocalypse. You could talk about the threat or disappointment, and if you want, you could talk about two-headed turtles. Does that sound fair?
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Thanks for calling back in.
All right. Take care, man.
All right, have a good one. So that frees up the line. That's Mr. Tack Penis in the great state of Texas. You have an opportunity to weigh in on the possibility. Do we want to adopt the term retard apocalypse? There's not a ton of us listening here. This will be something that will drop on the morning audience at some point. We're still living through an ongoing retard apocalypse. There needs to be an easier way to grab that, I think. So yeah. And do we want to do a limit? You get one extension. Does that sound right, folks? You guys in the chat will have to decide on this too. I've got you on the screen. We get one possibility of extension, 5 for 5. Somebody has to tell you. 5 people have to call for the extension. All right, we got caller number maybe 5, if I can remember. Who am I talking to and where are you from?
Hey, Cal. It's Mark from Austin, Texas.
Just down the road. How are you doing, Mark?
Just down the road.
You don't want to be
well,
whatever. You don't want to be the fact chucker. You don't want to do all the other names that I got in my head.
That's hilarious. I'm honored. You know all my pseudonyms. No, just Mark for now is good.
All right, buddy. What's on your mind?
Actually, speaking of the apocalypse, the last one, AI. I know it's not like something you're hugely into, or I don't sense it is, but two things strike me about it beyond just the general doom and gloom. One is that there's got to be if it is not to take us all and kill us all, make us all its slave, whatever. There has to be a prime directive. It just can't have its own initiative. It can't take its own actions without some human intervention. And I don't know. That's like an open question, right? If it even could, but I think that as a starting point, that's the only way it would not take over all of us. I'm curious if you have any thoughts on that.
Giving it a prime directive that limits its ability to do autonomous command?
That basically shuts that function down. It has to be directed by a human, on some task-by-task basis. But either way, just to not do its own thing.
I think that creating those parameters is where you get really, I haven't done any programming on this, but I can imagine that there has to be some self-directed initiative, right? You ask for a question and it goes on and it activates certain functions and it has to go and do searches without asking in order to access data and so on, right? So that would mean you either have to have a ridiculously specific programmer, or you have to have some kind of a time loop, or you have to have kind of a short circuit thing in there. But how do you build that in? I don't know. It's certainly outside of my programming knowledge, but theoretically it sounds good. I just don't know if you can technically do that before it kills us.
Well, I think you could. I don't know if people will. I think that may cut into some of the perceived benefits of it being able to be act defensively for on behalf of a country even. It would. Some people might want it to be autonomous in that sort of context. But I think it's the only way we survive it. That's a different gloom point I'm coming to, and I think maybe it will go that direction because we can't stop that, and if we can't stop it being autonomous, then I think how do we coexist with this thing that is better than us in every way? And you take even when we talk about doing jobs, better sort of vocational, farming, plumbing, welding, whatever. All that can become autonomous too, or become automated too with robots. And you see Elon's little robot walking around and whatnot. So
the question is can it really do the right QI? Can it or QA? Can it actually go through and check its own work and decide that it was good enough?
Why not?
I just wonder at what point in time is it so an infinitely complex machine that it might as well just be a person, especially someone who's an artisan or a highly skilled tradesperson.
Well, I think the way these things are improving at sort of exponential rates, it's just a matter of time before whatever gap it has now in terms of doing its own QA or QI or whatever will be overcome. And so it's just a matter of time. And it looks like it's going to be sooner than later.
Well, one of the things that I just read, they have all these predictive studies about how AI will help certain types of professions move at a much higher speed. And when they actually went to go do real world implementation, that they expected to increase speeds by 20 to 30%. For data processing and so on. And what they found is that the interfaces are so clunky and they're so non-intuitive to people that have been doing it for a long time that they actually slowed them down by 14 or 15%. And so it actually didn't actually accomplish the goal of speeding them up. It actually was slower. And so for whatever it is, it's not there yet for a lot of fields. NBC.
Yeah, I work in a really technical field, and I don't know. I'll have anecdotes, but using some of these AIs, ChatGPT, whatever, just for templates of documents or outlines of documents that are technical in nature would require somebody with 10, 15 years of experience in the field to generate. Yep. It's not there, but it'll get you 8% of the way there, in 5 minutes, and then you fill in the rest. So it's hard for me to imagine it's not net faster, at least for certain things. I can't speak to others.
Yeah, I think some things yes, some things no. And I think that the fields that they were looking at, some types of programming, because there had to be some feedback, there had to be some, debugging and so on, that they were, by the time that they actually were able to do this stuff, it didn't happen. But obviously, like, you can generate a lawsuit in a few seconds. Like, I generated the template for a lawsuit and it took me nothing. And so being able to do that clearly, but it all had to be directed, and I still had to go through and manually edit in because I couldn't tell it what I needed beforehand because I didn't know what I needed to have in there. It generated a document with a bunch of fill in the blanks. So by the time that happened, it's like, okay, fine. It saved me a ton of time. It's obviously faster and cheaper than a lawyer, but at the end of the time, it still wasn't self-directed. It wasn't autonomously going to go file the lawsuit because it realized that that's what I needed, and I don't think that was an option. All right, here's the voting time, Mark. Are you ready? So now the votes come in. So here we go. You got T-Mom says Cinco Mas.
So stressful.
Jen L. It's really exciting. It's like getting voted off the island.
Oh, man.
This actually kind of...
Not again.
Okay, guys, if you want to give Mark a few more minutes to discuss AI or further, Renzo just writes weird shit. Renzo just writes things 545. Nobody knows what that is. We're gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. All right, you got
I got nothing on that, Renzo.
You got more than 5. You're clear of that. So we're gonna restart your clock. This is fun though.
I'll pivot. I'll pivot the next 5 to the optimistic version, which is we survive AI. They're just having multiple AIs and it's sort of a mutually assured destruction scenario.
Didn't you kind of speculate that we needed AI versus like the good AI to fight the bad AI? Did we have that conversation, or was that something
No, well, not me, but
okay, because Alex Jones has made that argument to me as well, and I don't know if that's true or not, but he did say that.
Great. Now I'm turning into a gay frog.
I don't think Alex Jones is a gay frog.
Okay.
I don't think recognizing frogs turning gay makes you a gay frog. I'm not an expert, though.
Well,
I'm open.
I'm not a meteorologist either. So.
That's right. Yeah, no, I'm not a dentist. So, okay. What do you want to pivot your second round
I don't know,
to?
man. I feel like I'm just doing a recount of the votes.
Let me just put some. Yeah, let me. You want to recount in case you can get kicked off? Here's the real question. AI or no AI? This is actually useful. It's been raining a ton around here, right? For the last couple, like maybe let's call it 6 weeks. It's been an awful lot of rain for the Central Texas area. And the sort of unintended consequence of that is everything in my yard is growing at different rates. And I have to mow my lawn. If I'm doing it to keep it really nice, I'm going to have to do it more than once a week. And I don't want to do that. Are you having the same problem?
I am, and I just, the neighbors, the HOA be damned. I'm not doing it more than once a week.
Okay.
But also thinking and believing that this is a temporary problem where chances of us getting this much rain, through August is like 0. So that's my take.
You think it's just going to dry out and everything's going to die anyway, like it normally does during the summer?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Do you happen to believe that this is the fault of cloud seeding? Because I haven't seen anybody complaining about that for a while.
Yeah, I listened to that Sean Ryan where he had the cloud seeding guy, whatever his startup is called.
Did he kind of look like Joe Dirt? Was that just me? Was he kind of a Joe Dirt looking guy?
Problem is I'm an audio guy. So
you don't even know. Like. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, then we'll defer to my expertise. I think he was kind of Joe Dirt looking.
He sounded like Joe Dirt, if that helps, although he was articulate and smart. So
yeah, it didn't seem dumb, but he was really young.
Yeah. I mean, it's intriguing. I mean, the idea, it was the first thing that popped in my conspiratorial mind when I saw the rain and thought about it for a day or two. But I don't know. All we have to go on is this guy's discussion, and I guess we can go back to the radar, storage and see if it looks like the effect of his cloud seeding. But he said he did, 30 grams or some very tiny amount 2 days before. And it did blow in the direction where he was doing it in like South Texas. It was blowing towards, Central Texas, the hill country where it rained.
Yeah, it seemed like it was way further away than it needed to be. Also, historically, those areas all flood.
Yeah. I mean, every 10 years or so. So, I mean,
My question is this: if the federal government, or if anybody's technology that lived in this country was like dicking around with our weather, which we have the ability to do some degree of weather modification. I'm aware of that. That's not right. That exists for sure. The question is, do they have nearly as much control from the people I've talked to in the military? The answer seems to be no. And if they were able to go and just like drop shitloads of rain on something, why are we not dropping it on places where we keep finding out that there's no food, where we have to send $680 million because they don't have wells? And also the added bonuses is that we can like sweep the whole damn thing out into the ocean if we have to. Like, why are we not using it as a real weapon? We're screwing up Texas. That doesn't make sense to me. Does it make sense to anybody else?
Well, it only makes sense if it's nefarious actors who are, opposed to us. The Chinese have a big balloon over Texas, just.
I think they're only allowed to do that when Joe Biden's president. Isn't that the deal? You have to be Joe Biden president if you want Chinese balloons?
That's what we've been told.
Okay.
But, who knows? Maybe these balloons got more stealthy. Obviously just making shit up, but it doesn't make sense to your point.
That doesn't make sense. And hypothetically, do you own a 50 cal that would be able to put through some government armor if we needed it?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Right. Okay, hold on. Do you recommend the ownership of a private 50 cal?
I think if you have the means, it would be advisable.
It does seem like it would be advisable, doesn't it? By the way, your buddy Babs over on the locals was immediately voting you down. She did not want to give you an extra 5 minutes. She did that even before you got started. She said, "Mark, 5-minute hard limit." So you can go back and deal with her.
She's a bad mother, Babs. All right, appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Good talking to you.
You too.
I faded him out, but he said you too. Okay, so that's fun. I kind of like this. I like the format. I like the fact that we get to play with some folks. Folks, we've done, this is our 38th call-in week. And we've missed a week or two here and there. So we're probably been doing this for about 40 weeks. We're almost at a full year's worth of these calls. It's getting kind of fun, these call-in shows. We'll do one more. I wanted to kind of shut down a little bit early. Like I said, we're going to do Friendly Friday tomorrow morning, and we'll have Steve on. And then we're going to get in and I'm going to fly. Yeah, I'm going to fly out to West Virginia, which is a real interesting experience. I don't know if I've ever explained it to folks here, but since this is kind of our smaller little audience and it makes more sense to talk about it, the Timcast thing used to be weirder. It's actually now like a lot more organized. They have the steel building. This building is probably like 60 feet by 40 feet, classic steel building, but 2/3 of it is a skate park. I may bring the camera for the locals, folks. I may post a video for you guys if you guys would like. I think I can probably get on their Wi-Fi and upload something, and I'll do like a little like live, hey, what's up? It's kind of goofy going out there because you end up just sitting in a hotel and waiting for the podcast. And I'm such a boring person, and I hate Uber and other people that I don't know driving me. So I literally just get dropped at a hotel. I sit there in the hotel. I sit on Twitter or whatever, and then I turn around, I go to the podcast, I wake up in the morning, and I go home, which reminds me what I told Dinesh D'Souza's daughter when she was asking me about business travel because she thought it was really exciting. I wonder if she thinks that way still. She's got a little one. Her husband's in Congress now, and she was really interested in what the best part of traveling for work was. The best part of traveling for work is turning around and going home. That's my take.
You just gave up a big nugget.
That is a big nugget. I wonder if I can get a cleaner version of that. If one of you guys finds a cleaner version, will you please DM it to me of the Bongino sound clip? I really like that. Big nugget.
You just gave up a big nugget.
All right. We're going to give it one more minute. If anybody else wants to call in, this is your last opportunity to call in. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. Also, make sure that you've liked our video wherever you're sitting at. If you would, please, that'd be really nice. Put together some new visuals just to try to make it a little bit more interesting because I'm the kind of person that I don't get satisfied with just seeing one thing. I like to tinker a little bit, and I'm playing with a tool that's called Canva, and I highly recommend it. If you guys are in the design thing, but you're not a design person like yours truly, I'm not particularly skilled at doing graphics or web layout or whatever else. Like all the things here, minus the background, were all created using Canva, which is kind of nice. You can animate some stuff. You can create movies. You can create business cards, you can create flyers and stuff like that. It's pretty solid. So some of you guys already know about it. Looks like Renzo has been using it before. But if you have never seen it before, pretty cool little tool. Check out Canva. We should get them to sponsor us too. There's probably a lot of folks that would benefit from it. If I can use it, you guys can, because this is not my thing. All right, that's the minute. Let's call it a night. I appreciate the callers that did call in. Now we've got a new kind of little thing, a little rubric to work with. And I look forward to trying it out again with you all next week. Again, Friendly Friday first thing in the morning with Steve, and then the Timcast broadcast will be whenever the hell they do IRL. You guys will have to tell me. I'll let you know. If you follow me over on X, it's at Kyle Seraphin. Go ahead and do that. Oh, I haven't plugged this in a while, so I'll plug this too. The ladies at the post office box were asking me if I have the coolest listeners. And I said, yeah, because they were pretty excited. Whenever I get something, they get amped up and they're like, ooh, somebody sent you something. I wonder what it is. So I usually come and tell them what it was afterwards. If you want to write to the show or you want to send us something, postcard, you want to send me a letter, that's very cool. You can do so at 9073 West State Highway 29. There's a visual here. If you're just listening, you can see it. It's Suite 110, Box 509 in Liberty Hill, Texas. It's a good hill to die on. 78642. It is the UPS store here in Liberty Hill, Texas. So you can check that out if you want to send us something. No live animals. That's the rule. I hope everybody has a fantastic night. We're going to shut it down for now. I will see you in the morning, and God bless you. Thanks for all the people that called in and braved the audio waves to put your voice out in front of everybody else. We'll talk to you again starting tomorrow morning.
Thanks for listening to The Kyle Seraphin Show, streamed live weekdays on rumble.com/Kyle Seraphin. Follow Kyle on Twitter, Truth Social, and Instagram at Kyle Seraphin.